Hey, what's up, guys? Jim the Game Guru here. Gonna go over some Animal Crossing and why I feel like it's one of the games that I've played that have become one of the biggest disappointments for me. It is actually probably one of the most overhyped games, and I don't feel like it really deserves the 9s and 10s ratings that it's been getting. So first, the good stuff with it. So obviously Nintendo did an amazing job with like a lot of the graphics. The graphics are just crazy good. Characters, they've just done a really, really, really solid job on putting that together to kind of give it this charm. You know what it is? I am dragging seriously in getting through this game. I probably put about 15 to 20 hours into it. Haven't gotten to the terraforming part yet, and yeah, I know that a lot of people say, "Oh, the terraforming makes the game so much better." Yeah, probably, and I can probably agree to that. It's just trying to get there is just so painful. So some of the bad stuff. So let's start off with the first thing. So the first thing is the camera angles. The camera angles in this game are just, I don't get it. Like, I'm supposed to be on this island that's very an experience, right? You're in this island, you're supposed to be experiencing the island life, and the camera angles in this game are just ridiculous. There's times where you can walk around the island and you can't see things behind a tree, but then you have to look up and then you can see it, but then once you start moving, the camera angle goes down again. I think the camera angles, I would have liked to see more of like an camera angles on your island that allow you to give you a better view of your surroundings. So even if the engine wasn't supporting like a first-person view to walk around your island, because it wasn't really meant to be that way, at least give me the ability that when I stop, I can look around. And then once I start moving again, maybe the camera angle can change back. When you go into your house, you actually get that ability to move around your house with the right analog stick and look around. But the actual camera angles on the island itself are just total garbage. The next thing is the crafting mechanics and dialogues. The crafting is something that I feel like the quality of life on the crafting could be improved. So if you go into a craft something, for example, like let's go build like one of these. Like, what if I want to do a stone axe, but then I don't have the flimsy axe already built? Like, why can't they just make it so that when you're building the stone axe, it'll automatically build the flimsy axe and the stone axe at once and then come out? Why can't I select multiple of one item to build? So you build something, and then you have to go through all the animation. And yes, you can press A to make the crafting a lot faster, the animation faster. But why do I have to do that? Why can't we just have like a little sound that says, okay, like a hammer striking an anvil sound, and then boom, it's there, it's in your inventory. The whole going through and watching this animation and not only being able to do one and having to recycle and go over it over is just it gets a little annoying after a while. The other thing is like the same dialogue. Like when you go in to see Blathers in the museum and he does the same dialogue thing. Well, he wakes up, or you forget to assess these fossils before you actually apply the donations. Just make it easier. Make it so that when people go to donate, it automatically assesses the fossils. The next thing is this game is just riddled. The whole game is just riddled with like fetch quests. It's basically a game of fetch quests. If there was an RPG or some other game that like an open world game RPG that came out and the whole game was nothing but fetch quests, that game would get absolutely smashed to pieces with a lot of the users. In most RPG games or most open world action, whatever you can think of in that genre, they try their best not to put a bunch of fetch quests in. We're navigating away from that. But in this game, it's fetch quests like crazy, and there's so many people that just really are not bothered by that, and I don't know. I just don't understand that. Let's go and grab some of the stuff. A lot of this game is about daily tasks. You know, you come on, you get into your island, you walk around, you find bottles, you dig stuff up, you see if there's any new bugs or fish to catch, see if there's anything new to build. It's kind of like a daily checklist. You get up, you wake up, you take a shower, you do whatever, you get on Animal Crossing, you go through your checklist, you get off, you come back home later on. You go through your checklist in Animal Crossing, and then you're done. It's kind of sounds like a job to me. That's just. I wish there was a little bit more substance in this game, because everything's about how decorating stuff and putting stuff someplace, collecting things, showing it off. It's good if it's complementary to other little more detailed tasks or detailed things you can do in the game. Maybe if the crafting was a little more detailed, or the farming or something. I mean, when there's no real farming in this, you just plant things and you just put them onto the ground. But maybe if there's something a little more detailed, like things like in Minecraft or Stardew Valley or Terraria, those games usually have one aspect of their game that's a little more in depth to kind of keep you in there. But I just feel like this game's a lot more about kind of just collecting and placing things, and there's really not a whole lot of substance to it. Now, cloud saves. Yeah, this one. So the whole connecting into real time with the time in the game, matching the time in your house or the weather in your area. At first, I thought that was really, really cool. I thought, okay, well, that's interesting. But over time, after I've been playing this game for a while, I've gotten to the point that I think we've sacrificed too much on the whole. Well, it's always connected. It's always searching. It needs to know what time it is. Always needs to know what season it is. And doing all of that and having your islands in a certain state, and I still to this day don't really know exactly why Nintendo decided to rip out Cloud Save. I don't know if it's because of this real-time thing and the status of your island and having it in your cloud saves in one state and then pulling it down on a different time. It doesn't know how to catch up or do whatever. I'm not sure, but I would have rather had them do something more like Stardew Valley, where in Stardew Valley you have an internal clock and everything internally is handled as you go through the year. I think that would have allowed a little bit more kind of a variety to happen quicker. If you wanted to see the winter stuff sooner, like now I have to actually wait until it's winter in my area before I can see the winter stuff. Am I going to be playing this in the winter? Not really. Am I going to want to? No. I mean, I'm having a hard time getting through the game as it is. So just to sacrifice the cloud saves over the timing or whatever it is with the status of the islands, and not being able to create more than one island, and I don't know. I feel like it's way more of a negative to have that, as opposed to having some kind of internal calendar that something like Stardew Valley has. And the last thing that really got to me about this game is, and this is something that I think parents should definitely beware, is that the cost of this game is just insane when you have multiple young children. So yesterday, I had this purchased through my account through the eShop, and yesterday I decided to put this on the Switch Lite and on my regular Switch. I already have it on, and to have myself and my daughter play together. But that seems to work with a lot of games. I can do that. I can actually install on a Switch Lite, and then after I install on a Switch Lite, I can make that the primary, and then I can install the game, and then fire the game up as her user. I created her own Nintendo account user, and I had my own Nintendo account user that I'm using to fire up the game on my Switch that's hooked to the TV. And through most of the games that I do it that way, like Minecraft, for example, we can connect together. We can do local play together, connect, no problem. Even some of the other games that we've tried, we can do. But with Animal Crossing, you can't do that. It will actually detect if you have it installed as a downloaded and installed from a particular user, and it will check to see if those are the same user software, or the same user that you've purchased it with has downloaded and installed it onto the system. So it binds it to the purchasing user, and if it sees that it's the same, when you go to open up the airports to connect to each other, you can't play with each other. So here I have my 9-year-old daughter that can't get a job. She's not old enough to get a job. She doesn't have money. She's in my own house, and I have to buy the game twice just so we can play together. That to me is just ridiculous. And then if my son, my 6-year-old son, gets a little older and can play this, so now I have to buy another copy for him. So $180 for the three of us to play together in the same household. This whole multiple Switches and the whole family library of games, especially for parents that have young kids, Nintendo is completely out of touch with it. I'm not going to buy another copy of this game. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to do it. And it's really kind of put a bad taste in my mouth with it. But yeah, so those are, if I had to give a rating to this game, I would probably give it a 7.5 out of 10. And I think a lot of people are giving it 9s and 10s and going crazy over it on the internet, and everyone's enjoying it and playing it. I feel like a lot of it is due to the charm of the game. It's due to the characters. It's due to, it's fun collecting stuff, I guess. But when it's only all about collecting and setting up and showing things off, it feels very, very, very shallow. And the one thing that Nintendo has done a decent job on is the cosmetics. There are a lot of cosmetic items to get in this game. I just wish there was a little bit more, a little deeper. I wish the money thing with the whole buying separate copies of the game wasn't there. I wish they would improve on some of the usability aspects on a lot of things. And all those reasons put together it's just making me drag through this game. I mean, I'm still probably going to play it, but it's going to be one of those games that I play when I'm not playing my other games, my real games. And I'm a gamer who likes to play all sorts of different types of game. I don't care if it's a relaxing game, action fighter, whatever it is. But when you have a game like this that just could be so much more, and it's not, because just certain things that are holding back. I just don't get it. I don't get why everyone's going crazy over it. And yeah, when I get to the terraforming part, it probably get a little better. But the islands are so small. They're so ridiculously small. Like, I feel like these islands should be like 4 times the size of what they are now. Why are they so small? Yeah, maybe because the Switch couldn't handle performance-wise or whatever it is. But when I get to the terraforming, it's not going to make me go from ugh to like, oh, what a great game, what a super awesome, amazing game. It's not going to be enough to push me there. The island is only so big. There's only so much you can build and terraform and change, and I would probably get bored with it after a day of terraforming because it'd be all done. It's not like these other games like Minecraft where it's like infinite worlds, and I don't expect it to be an infinite world, but I feel like the island should be a little larger. So yeah, this game has just been probably one of my biggest disappointments this year. I bought it when it first came out. I thought it was going to be amazing. And like, here's another thing right here that bugs the crap out of me. It's like every item in this game you get should have some kind of interaction. So I get this barbecue. I can't do anything with it. I can move it around, flip it around, push it around. Oh, here.
Why can't I jump on this and actually ride this little horsey thing? Every game, every item in this game should have some kind of interaction. Like you get, like one of the items you get is a ball. Can you push the ball around the island? No, you can lightly tap it and it does like a little lightly bounce. The other thing is like a tricycle. You get this tricycle. Can I get on the tricycle and ride around it? No, I can't. I can't even get on it. It's just there. It's just every item should have interaction. You should be able to do a lot more. You should be able to push the balls around. The island itself already has a boundary, so the ball shouldn't be able to escape the boundary of the island. I feel like they have they have to put more into this game. I honestly feel like that later on they're gonna make this like Smash Brothers. This is like Nintendo's cash cow right now. They're selling a shit ton of these copies of these games, and then later on what's gonna happen is they're gonna have these packs out for it. They're setting up for the DLCs, no doubt. They want people to play this throughout the year, and then later on they're setting it up for the DLC of just like Smash Brothers with the fighter pack. I can see this having some kind of packs later on with like the Oriental pack where you can buy a pack and get a bunch of Oriental costumes and the structures and then there's the Arctic pack. Well, maybe narwhal characters or polar bears or wherever can start visiting your island, and you can have you can make like little igloo houses or something. I don't know. Just I can see them making a bunch of these packs that you can download to add to Animal Crossing later on. It wouldn't surprise me. I think Nintendo's warming up to DLCs. They're just doing it a different way. They're trying to offer as much now for free, but they're setting it up. They're setting up the groundwork. So then later on, they will just start releasing these add-on purchases. But yeah, well, that's pretty much it. I just kind of wanted to kind of go over some of my disappointments, and I hope this game gets better. But as of right now, it's kind of it's just a little garbagey to me. But that's it. Thanks, guys.